relationships. You can find it right there. And check out Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret with Robin McGraw. Whether you're looking for a secret to keeping your head up or the neuroscience secret of feeling good, Robin covers it all. Listen for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Tell me this is on sale. Absolutely. And during the Memorial Day Super Sale at Furniture Row, you'll find tons of great savings store-wide.
Like the more you buy, the more you save?
Right. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend.
Special buys? Check. What else you got?
Huge savings on living, dining, bedroom, mattresses, and adjustable bases.
And financing?
How about 6 years, no interest? The Memorial Day Super Sale, on now at Furniture Row.
No matter who you are, being yourself can be tough when you have severe asthma. Triggers can pop up out of nowhere, causing inflammation that can lead to asthma attacks. But no matter what type of severe asthma you have, Tezspire can help. Tezspire is a new add-on treatment for people 12 and over that proactively reduces inflammation, which means you could have fewer attacks, breathe better, and relieve your asthma symptoms. So you can be you, whoever you are. Tezspire is not a rescue medication. Don't take Tezspire if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or an eye allergy can happen. Don't stop your asthma treatments unless your doctor tells you to. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Sore throat, joint, and back pain may occur. Avoid live vaccines. By helping control your asthma, Tezspire can help you be you. No matter who you are, ask your asthma specialist about Tezspire today.
Now your forecast first with the KX Storm Team.
Good afternoon. Well, thank you for joining us for KX News. Now, you've heard of Taco Tuesday, right? Well, in North Dakota, we just call it Windy Wednesday. And boy, that's what we've got going on. Still some cloud cover, kind of hit and miss clouds in some spots, a little more sunshine in the southwest right now. The temperatures, not that bad, 60s to low 70s. One of the warmer spots will be Bismarck at 72, Minot only at 65 degrees. These are the sustained winds, and the wind gusts have been even stronger than that, and some of these wind gusts have actually dropped off a little bit, but things are going to change quite a bit beginning tomorrow. The details are coming up.
Coming up next on KX News at 5, a mixed bag when it comes to real estate in our area.
And making changes to make as much as possible. Who it could benefit.
Plus,
lawmakers are pressing forward on a bill to get more baby formula to low-income families. I'm Skyler Henry at the White House with the latest as the FDA works to reopen a key shuttered plant, partly responsible for the nationwide shortage.
Putting North Dakota first. KX News at 5 starts now.
Good evening. I'm Nicholas Kwolek.
And I'm Brooke Williams. Thank you for watching KX News. Leading local tonight, a Mandan man is now charged with 2 felonies for allegedly having a multitude of videos and images depicting child sex abuse on his phone.
After receiving tips, Mandan police arrested 21-year-old Trevor Duenas Monday at his home. Investigators say they found 23 files that had been uploaded to accounts associated with an email address, which Duenas later admitted to owning. In all, 700 videos and images of child sex abuse were found on his phone. An affidavit states Duenas admitted to possessing and distributing the materials since moving to North Dakota in 2020.
Duenas is charged with promoting or directing an obscene sexual performance by a minor and possessing prohibited materials. A preliminary hearing has been scheduled for June 20th in Warren County.
Last week, we reported that state Senate candidate Ryan Eckroth is facing a federal IRS tax lien and a court-ordered judgment against him for debt he owes a local credit union.
We have also learned that in 2012, Eckroth agreed to the revocation of his insurance license in the face of the cease and desist order from Adam Ham, North Dakota's insurance commissioner at the time. Josh Minnie joins us now live with more. Josh.
That's right, Nicholas and Brooke. This public record, the 2011 North Dakota Insurance Department investigation case report, is a 54-page state investigation into Eckroth, documenting numerous complaints against him for alleged insurance fraud. The state investigation into Eckroth began as a case of suspected embezzlement from his insurance firm and ultimately ended with his insurance license being revoked. In a synopsis of the case, a state investigator for the insurance department writes, Ryan admitted that he did not do a good job explaining the insurance to a number of the customers, and on a few occasions he had forged signatures. He could not remember which accounts or which names he forged. In addition to the customer complaints explained in the state report, investigators also interviewed Eckroth's ex-wife. She provided them with additional damaging information about Eckroth's personal financial affairs. Here are some of the specific claims she made in the report compiled by state investigators. Ryan is very controlling. I have no idea how much money we have in the bank because I'm not on any of the accounts. He gives me a debit card and that is the only source of money that I have. He won't give me a key to the mailbox, so I don't know what bills we do have. My lawyer was able to get a copy of my credit report, and I saw that I have several credit cards in my name that I never signed for. There is a $20,000 judgment, and I have no idea that ever happened. The state report includes numerous interviews with individual customers and more than a dozen companies who made specific accusations against Eckroth, including some who said that they had told Eckroth they did not want life insurance but were signed up anyway. A copy of the full report is available on our website, kxnet.com.
Josh, thank you very much. Good news if you're looking to sell your home this summer, but if you're looking to buy, not so much. The growth rate in the Bismarck-Mandan area is continuing to rise. However, the number of houses on the market is still well below normal. A broker we spoke with says although we are still in a seller's market, those looking to purchase a new home will see higher interest rates, upwards of 5%, while those looking to sell their homes get the luxury of picking from a number of offers.
Typically in this healthy market, in a healthy market, let's say pre-COVID, we would have probably 300 to 400 single-family homes just in Bismarck alone. So we're down almost 70% just in inventory, and that's what's creating this frenzy with the seller's market. There's probably no better time to still buy than now because interest rates are probably going to be historically low looking back in the next 2 to 3 years. So I think the trend is that the rates will go up, but I think right now it's still a good time.
In this seller's market, Koski reminds sellers to speak with your agent and be sure your home is priced correctly.
The nationwide baby formula shortage has led to the hospitalization of at least 2 children. Skylar Henry is at the White House with those details, as well as what lawmakers are doing to help the most vulnerable Americans get the formula their children need.
2 children in Memphis went to the hospital after their parents couldn't find the special formula they need as a result of intestinal issues.
We're supporting with IV fluids and with IV nutrition, which is not ideal.
The FDA reached an agreement with Abbott, which makes the specific formula, to reopen its plant. But it could take 2 months for supplies to hit store shelves. In the meantime, House lawmakers are prepared to vote on a bill that would make it easier for low-income families to get baby formula.
WIC recipients utilize formula at a rate double most other people in this country. About 50% of our babies rely on the WIC program for milk.
The legislation would authorize the USDA to waive rules so that WIC recipients could swap one brand of formula for another, and they would be exempt from the maximum monthly allowances currently in place.
We're giving them the flexibility, and we want to make that permanent, that they can purchase what is available, safe and available.
Lawmakers are also launching an investigation into how the FDA has handled the oversight responsibilities, especially over the Abbott plant at the center of the formula crisis.
The chips should fall where they may. People have to be accountable, whether it is at FDA or whether it is at Abbott.
The Abbott plant in Sturgis, Michigan was shuttered in February due to bacterial contamination.
Recalls happen, but this company has lied, it's cut corners, it falsified records to cover up misdoings at the sake of infant health.
Republicans are also criticizing the Biden administration response, saying it should have acted quicker to get more formula on store shelves. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
FDA head Dr. Robert Califf is scheduled to testify on Capitol Hill tomorrow.
Farmers around the state rely on the weather, especially now as planting is underway. But because of the various weather conditions this spring, late planting means the growing season will be a bit shorter. While North Dakota has gotten much needed moisture, the April blizzard and recent rainy days have made it hard for farmers to begin planting crops. Research agronomist Eric Eriksmoen says typically at this time of year, farmers have started to plant crops like wheat, barley, and oats. He says he recommends farmers change what they intend to plant to increase profit with a shorter season.
So if your plan was to plant small grains, maybe go in and consider planting soybeans right now. If you were planning to plant corn and you don't have any dry fields, then consider planting another crop.
Eric Simone says farmers should consider using less inputs like fertilizer so they won't put all of their resources in for a potentially lower yield.
Coming up on KX News at 5, we're learning more about the history of a man accused in a mass shooting.
Plus, it can be challenging enough to find mental health help quickly, but finding the correct kind of help can also be challenging.
And say goodbye to the 70s, at least for a little bit. Chief Meteorologist Tom Schrader has your full forecast up next.
You're watching KX News at 5 with Brooke Williams, Nicholas Qualick, and weather with meteorologist Tom Schrader. KX News at 5, putting North Dakota first.
Take care of your pride and joy with a new baby match from College Save. Open an account before your baby's first birthday and receive a $200 match from Bank of North Dakota. Your pride and joy will thank you.
Mark Pierce and Anna Novak, coal country leaders with coal country values, running for state rep. Mark Pierce and Anna Novak fight for coal because their families have mined for generations and still do. Pro-life and pro-gun as state reps, Pierce and Novak will fight for conservative values. They'll cut taxes, promote coal and agriculture, and always back law enforcement. Mark Pierce and Anna Novak, conservatives for District 33.
Before you buy a used vehicle, checking the brake fluid, engine mount, cooling fan, transmission fuel injector, brake pads, coolant, wheel aligners, software updates might not be on your list, but it's on our list of 172 inspection points performed by Ford factory-trained technicians on every gold-certified Ford Blue Advantage used vehicle. Plus, with Ford Blue Advantage, get our 14-day or 1,000-mile money-back guarantee to ensure peace of mind when purchasing your vehicle. Search conveniently, buy confidently. It's used car buying that's built for you by your Ford dealer.
Protect your investment property and the health and wellness of its occupants with the Halo LED air purification system. Improve the air quality in your building or home with technology that kills 99% of most germs, bacteria, and viruses on surfaces and in the air by producing ionized hydrogen peroxide molecules. The Halo LED is like bringing fresh outdoor air inside without ever having to open your window. Call H.A. Thompson & Sons today, 223-3393 for more information on this revolutionary product.
For a lifetime warranty and insurance deductibles paid up to $500, choose John's Auto Body across from Super Walmart.
Now your local weather with the KX News Storm Team.
Hey Tom, how's the weather?
Yeah, they were here for a tour today. There was some of the students, all different grades up to senior, right, from Surrey High School, and I believe it was the video production class. So they're here checking out all the equipment and everything and saying hi, so I thought might as well put them on TV, right? All right, let's take a look at Minot, where it's still very cloudy looking to the east, and last night it was like a constant light show from lightning off to the east from this view. And in 5 o'clock hour, it's 65 degrees. Sustained winds are at 26 miles an hour. In Bismarck, more of a clear sky, just a few clouds here or there. Now, if it wasn't for the wind, it'd be a terrific day because it's 72. And I think that's like kind of considered like the best temperature. At west-northwest wind, however, still at 18 miles an hour. So looking at other temps, 50s up in the Turtle Mountains and along the international border, 70 down at Ashley, and it looks like Beach is 63, and Watford City at 64. And the wind speed, these are the northwest winds, and these are sustained winds, mostly 15 to 25 miles an hour as an average there. And the wind gust earlier today, when I was watching KX News at noon, Amber Wheeler had a graphic showing like several places with wind gusts well into the 40 mile an hour or more criteria there. So wind has settled down somewhat. And looking at our precision cast tonight at 7 o'clock, it's going to still be blustery. The wind will taper off some tonight. It'll be pretty much breezy all night long. And by the time you get up tomorrow morning, there's probably going to be some hit and miss showers in the area. The odds for rain tomorrow are actually pretty high. 80% in many cases, and so you can see by 7 o'clock hit and miss showers, but that's not the whole thing. By mid-morning, it looks like rain is going to continue to work its way in, and this would be a little heavier rain, if you want to call it that. We're not talking about substantial rain, but it still could be a soaking rain. So here we are at 10 o'clock, some more rain moving in, and then it's going to push through the south central and everything during the mid-afternoon hours. So pretty much everybody has a good shot of getting some rain tomorrow. I'm not saying it's going to be an all-day rain. Some dry air is going to move in, probably shut some of that down. This is showing the possibility of maybe a couple of storms firing in the afternoon. Maybe I guess heating of the day is probably not the right word, and the temperature's falling, but it's all relative. So we're looking at tomorrow night, the sky clearing out a little bit, and with that clearing sky, temperatures are going to drop, and we're going to get the wraparound moisture. Colder temperatures, wraparound moisture, that's what we get. This is a computer model that I was showing graphics here that I thought I would never have to use again until like October at the earliest. But there we are, looking at the potential for a very wet snow mixed with rain. Now, this is just one computer model. Other models show maybe some mixed rain and snow, but not as much as this shows. But I just wanted to point out, if you're in the north, you actually have a decent chance of seeing some wet snow. Won't last all day or anything like that, but we're still looking at that chance there. So potential rain amounts probably around a ½ inch or less is what we're looking at. So here's a 72-hour planner for Dickinson, and look at that nighttime low Friday night. Temperatures could go below freezing for parts of North Dakota. And then in Williston, you can see the numbers there. So forecast temperatures tonight, 40s to around 50. That's not bad, but it's not going to warm up a lot tomorrow. And here is the 7-day, and the weekend is not going to be a great weekend to be outside, whether in the north or southern part of the state. But it is May, and it is North Dakota, and this is what happens.
I suppose so.
You know, Tom, when you started off the show talking about Taco Tuesday, I was excited where the forecast could lead. This is not what I expected.
Thank you, Tom. Next on our 5 at 5, it had been closed for 3 months until today.
Plus, he's used to being at the center of attention, but this is a little bit different.
Jonathan needs to go. His ability to win challenges is a huge threat. Basically, I'm just like a sacrificial lamb to them.
We're not going to go any further together. It's time to break up.
I'm putting my life in your hands.
He sees me as his savior in the game.
This is a risk that we have to take.
The war is about to begin.
Our plan is foolproof.
This is crazy.
I wanted to unleash my evil laugh, like...
iMart Express is now open in Bismarck. 2 pairs start at $38.71 and 2 pairs with progressives for $76.92. For the best value in eyewear, come to iMart Express.
Right glasses.
Right price.
Right now.
Transform your space with 11% off easy updates from Menards. Choose from our huge selection of Tarkett waterproof vinyl plank, easy to install sheet vinyl, and durable laminate flooring that stands up to everyday life. Save 11% on Tarkett flooring. Brighten up your room with LED light bulbs from Fight. These 60-watt equivalent bulbs are long-lasting and will save on energy costs. Hurry in, a 4-pack is only $3.99 after 11% rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Dude, great ride.
Right? This Silverado keeps me connected and in control. And this touchscreen is my command center. My command center.
The 2022 Silverado LT. Find new control. Find new roads.
Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or order your next Chevy at your local dealership. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
The new iMart Express is now open in Bismarck on East LaSalle Drive next to Aspen Dental. With a huge selection of frames at low prices, you'll get your glasses fast, same day fast. iMart Express is now open in Bismarck on East LaSalle Drive next to Aspen Dental.
Get the app, get the alerts. Download the KX Storm Team app today.
You're watching KX News, putting North Dakota first.
Now here's our 5 at 5.
The U.S. Embassy in Kyiv reopened today after a 3-month closure due to Russia's February 24th invasion of Ukraine. An embassy spokesperson says a small number of diplomats will return initially to staff the mission. Operations will not resume immediately, and a no-travel advisory from the State Department remains in effect across Ukraine.
Today, the Broome County, New York District Attorney Michael Korchak discussed the history of the man charged in the mass shooting at a Buffalo grocery store. Korchak says there was an incident in 2021 with Peyton Gendron while he was attending online school. Korchak says Gendron was attending a class when he made some disturbing comments about murder and suicide. A teacher responded to his remarks trying to get clarification, but Gendron said he was just joking. Korchak says school district authorities reported the incident to state police, that they went to Gendron's home to interview him. He told authorities once again he was joking. Police took precautions. They took Gendron for a psychiatric evaluation. Gendron was released from the hospital back to his parents.
Vice President Kamala Harris gave the keynote address during the U.S. Coast Guard Academy's 141st commencement today. During the ceremony, the vice president touched on the importance of the cadets and their work as they head out on their assignments domestically and abroad. She said they will help protect the international rules-based order that has been taken for granted.
Pope Francis was again struggling to walk as he arrived for his weekly general audience, suffering from a flare-up of knee pain. The 85-year-old pontiff has suffered a flare-up of pain in his right knee, in addition to a long-time case of sciatica, which also causes pain in his legs. Francis's health has forced the postponement of a trip to Lebanon next month. He is, however, still scheduled to visit South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Canada in July.
And Tom Brady will be in the hot seat, this time during a Netflix roast. Netflix announced the 7-time Super Bowl champion will be featured first in a series of upcoming specials called Greatest Roasts of All Time, otherwise known as GROAT. Brady is the executive producer of the series, with his roast set to tape in 2023.
Now here's a preview of what's coming up tonight on News Nation.
Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. The Pennsylvania primaries. Many on the campaign trail were pushing the rigged 2020 election narrative. But now that some of them have won, it's all suddenly okay, no fraud now. And we'll look at how both sides' extremes fared last night. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
You can catch News Nation on cable and satellite stations you see here.
Plenty more coming up on KX News at 5.
There's a huge demand for mental health treatment, but finding a counselor or therapist can be a challenge. I'm Danya Backus with how to find the help you need.
Welcome back to camping season with huge savings at Capital RV of Bismarck and Minot during our pre-Memorial Day sale May 18th to 28th. We are slashing thousands off MSRP on all in-stock RVs from the industry's top brands and hottest floor plans. Hurry into Capital RV and set.
Employers find employees with the HireClick job posting system on KXNet Jobs. All the job boards that matter for one low price. Northwest Hire is hiring in multiple locations. Current openings include sales, mechanic, and tech positions. Check out this job and more at KXNetJobs.com.
Before you buy a used vehicle, checking the brake fluid, engine mount, cooling fan, transmission fuel fluid, injector, brake pads, coolant, wheel liner, software updates might not be on your list, but it's on our list of 172 inspection points performed by Ford factory-trained technicians on every gold-certified Ford Blue Advantage used vehicle. Plus, with Ford Blue Advantage, get our 14-day or 1,000-mile money-back guarantee to ensure peace of mind when purchasing your vehicle. Search conveniently, buy confidently. It's used car buying that's built for you by your Ford dealer.
As railroad tracks went down, towns sprang up across North Dakota. Some stayed and grew over time, while others faded away. What's left of these abandoned towns? Join Brendan Rodenberg as he explores North Dakota ghost towns, tonight at 6 on KX News.
You know how we've been waiting for the other shoe to drop? I think it just did.
Kung Fu. Tonight at 8 on the Dakotas CW.
Big change is coming to your Minot Shields. The current locations will begin phased department closures starting June 5th to make way for our new, larger store with more for you. More specialty shops, more fun, and more for you to enjoy. Your last day to shop at the current Minot locations will be June 19th. So come visit us now. See the complete closure schedule at shields.com/Minot Construction. Thank you for your patience during this transition. We look forward to welcoming you to the new Minot Shields, July 9th.
Our weather can swing to the extremes, and that's why your KX Storm Team is always there.
To let you know what's coming.
to let you know how to prepare for the day ahead.
To give you the most accurate forecast.
Anytime, on any screen.
We'll give you the latest road reports.
We'll let you know what's been canceled.
We'll be here to keep you safe.
Your KX Storm Team, putting North Dakota's weather first.
Nakota is now hiring. Great pay and benefits. Safe work environment. Go to nakota.com today to apply.
You're watching KX News, putting North Dakota first.
Mental health treatment has been in huge demand in recent years, especially for conditions such as anxiety and depression. But finding a therapist or counselor can be a process.
In today's Your Health First, Danya Backus has more on how to start your search and what to look for in a doctor.
Reem Abukadr says she started seeing a counselor several years ago because she was struggling with depression and the symptoms were interfering with her life.
It's helped me a lot because as I've gone through different counselors, I've sort of, I would say, graduated to techniques that apply more to my life.
But finding a counselor can be challenging and overwhelming. Dr. Rachel Jacoby with Palo Alto University says a first step is to check online directories like Psychology Today, ShrinkSpace, and the National Board of Certified Counselors.
You could also contact your insurance company and see who's paneled with them, and that would help with payment options and payment accessibility.
Patients should also understand the difference between therapy providers, such as a licensed clinical social worker, licensed professional counselor, doctor of psychology, and others.
And there are psychiatrists who prescribe medications and then also may offer more interpersonal sessions as well.
And if you don't find the right fit in a counselor, keep looking. Once you start counseling, Dr. Jacoby says set clear goals. For example, if you're dealing with anxiety.
Your counselor will be able to help you identify goals within navigating your anxiety. And then not only that, they will be able to support you along the way as you work to reach your goal.
Now I'm more trying to focus on enhanced self-regulation techniques that take into account the nervous system and just mindfulness. That's helping me now because I think it's a life skill.
Reem is now pursuing a doctorate in health education, focusing on mental health so she can help others. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
It's also important to ask about cost of care before starting treatment.
Some health insurances will cover a portion of the cost, but ask if your insurance will cover the provider you select.
We'll take one last look at your forecast right after this.
Drive in comfort this season with the vehicle from Cartiva Minot.
Our large selection of winter warriors come in many shapes and sizes.
All for one low price. We are here to help you find the right vehicle to weather any storm.
Plus, all are backed by our Cartiva promise and guaranteed peace of mind.
Don't get stuck sacrificing room and comfort this winter.
Find your next vehicle at Cartiva of Minot.
Welcome to Cloud D Hippie Boutique and Smokers Parlor. We have pipes, incense, clothing, vaporizers, CBD, and much more. Explore our locally owned store 7 days a week for a great selection and positive atmosphere. We'll see you at Cloud D Hippie Boutique and Smokers Parlor in Minot.
Mr. Street Taco Truck Guy.
First off, you never saw me here. I'll take your mango shrimp street tacos.
So you like ours better than the ones in your truck? I can still see you.
3 for $6 mango shrimp street tacos, only at Taco John's.
Hour-by-hour forecasts, live radar, weather alerts. With the KX Storm Team app, you're protected 24/7 with a notification system you customize to automatically adjust to your location. Get the app, get the alerts. Download the KX Storm Team app today.
Mark Pierce and Anna Novak, coal country leaders with coal country values, running for state rep. Mark Pierce and Anna Novak fight for coal because their families have mined for generations and still do. Pro-life and pro-gun as state reps, Pierce and Novak will fight for conservative values. They'll cut taxes, promote coal and agriculture, and always back law enforcement. Mark Pierce and Anna Novak, conservatives for District 33.
Life in the 701 is really all about how you live it. Watch Studio 701, weekday mornings at 9.
Well, these temperatures have done a number on the soil temps. Let me show you, and I'll tell you what happened between now and yesterday and today. Most of these temperatures have gone down. I think the only one that went up a degree was Carrington, but some of them went down like 5 or 6 degrees for the soil temperatures. So, you know, we're really not quite there yet. Looking at the temperatures tonight, we're going to be in the 40s for the most part. Tomorrow, only the 50s. We're going to have some rain. And Nicholas and Brooke, you know, I mentioned earlier about Taco Tuesday, and of course, windy Wednesday, and I've got one for Friday. How about Flurries Friday? Because we can have some.
Flurries Friday. Well, hopefully it'll be a fun Friday as well. Thank you, Tom, and thank you for watching KX News at 5.
Join us again at 6.
During iKeating Furniture World's Memorial Day sale, save on beautiful styles for your entire home, or no interest for 5 years. Now's the time to give every room a new look at huge holiday savings. Elevate your sleep comfort and save up to $800 on select Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets, up to $500 on select Sealy and Tempur-Pedic adjustable sets. Plus, enjoy better sleep with no interest for 5 years. iKeating Furniture World's Memorial Day sale, going on now.
I'm thankful for the air I'm breathing. I know that times get tough, but keep on looking up and see we've got so much. I've got to say thank you for all I've got today. Thank you. Whoa, say it to the sunshine, tell it to the blue sky.
Culver's couldn't have started anywhere but in Sauk City, Wisconsin. Still today, we are a family restaurant. Here, nearby farms grow the food we eat, smiles are contagious, and everyone is someone's neighbor. It's a place where our love of fresh food is as strong as our love for each other. It's a feeling of welcome you'll notice the moment you stop by. Because where we come from has made us who we are, and for that, we couldn't be more proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Tonight, we begin with the state of the American economy, the new worries as the stock market plunges, and the breaking news out of the White House tonight, President Biden's drastic steps to try and end the baby formula crisis. Operation Fly Formula, the plan to use